Picture this. You're a student. You think you're heading to school for the day, but because of a misunderstanding, you're ordered into total isolation for 14 days.
Here he is, not knowing any better, always been in the care of the DPJ for his whole life, and here he is thinking that this is just the way things are, and this is just normal to him. It's not normal, it's sickening.
The student in question is an Indigenous minor in the care of Montreal Youth Protection Services. We can't name him or the man speaking, his teacher.
My student needed to get his school supplies because the school had been closed down on the Tuesday as a result of a bridge collapse here in Montreal. He was sent to school anyway from the group home. They didn't know or didn't get the news that that the school was closed.
Batshaw is the child welfare agency overseeing the file. They felt the youth might have been exposed to COVID during the detour, so they ordered him into segregation, but never performed a COVID test.
The room, however, has been described to me and confirmed by the people who work there as a windowless cement room in a basement. My student had a chair and a bed, and that was all. They had removed his cell phone and means of communication other than schoolwork.
Batshaw's alleged treatment of Indigenous youth has been criticized before. 2 weeks ago, a report from the Quebec Human Rights Commission found the regional health authority overseeing Batshaw chronically violates Indigenous kids' right to education and the full development of their human and cultural potential. In a statement to APTN, however, they assured isolation does not mean leaving young people to themselves. The presence of an educator is assured, in addition to offering them several sources of entertainment. The teacher says the reality was a lot less personal.
They referred to an algorithm, and I don't know if you can hear a little bit the emotion in my voice. They referred to an algorithm that they use to determine how to treat a student. And my reaction was, in my mind, I thought, you are reducing this young person to a number and using a mathematical formula to determine an outcome for him. And they felt comfortable reducing him to a number.
And they keep telling us that they follow a very strict algorithm. Sounds very robotic and mathematical.
Amanda Moniz works for the Montreal Indigenous Community Network. They jumped on board quickly to call out what they feel is a human rights violation. But after a meeting with health board officials, they say their concerns were dismissed.
They were so resistant. It was incredible. It became very clear that they were there to just let us talk and express concerns, and just so that they could appease us, that they could check a box off a list and say that, oh, we heard them. But really nothing was done.
By the time the groups convened late last week, the youth in question had allegedly spent 3 or 4 days locked up. His teacher says a formal complaint is in the works.
You do not, in 2021, reduce a young Indigenous person to a number and say that the algorithm told you to do it. That is a complete, utter failure in the system, and I would suggest a moral failure too.
The health board promised to release the youth if a COVID test came back negative. We sent a follow-up email to confirm whether that test ever happened. They did not return our request for comment before deadline. Lindsay Richardson, APTN National News, Montreal.